Let's talk about the NFL schedules. It was released Thursday. What stood out? What is some of the games you're looking forward to seeing?
There was a couple games that really stood out to me. I'll just run through them briefly real quick. Like the season opener for Falcons-Eagles, you got a rematch of that NFC division game. Giants-Jags, which kind of surprised me. That's their first game of the season. They're not playing the Cowboys on week 1, which they typically always do. And you got Tom Coughlin going back to MetLife, so that should be interesting. You have the Falcons and the Saints playing on Thanksgiving. That should be a great game, rival game. I'll be looking in that. It'll be a hard game for the Falcons. It's a away game in New Orleans.
That's a night game, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe it's a night game. Yeah,
it's definitely tough.
You've got Packers-Patriots in Week 9. Rodgers-Brady. Realistically, this is probably the last time they're gonna play. And, both of them have the...
So you're implying that this is Tom Brady's last season?
No, I'm saying, but how often do the Packers and the New England play? They don't play that often.
That's true.
And
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, Brady's he'll probably retire say he does retire in 4 seasons. Who knows if they'll ever play it again. They just don't play that often. Saints-Vikings in Week 8, rematch of that game. That'll be freaking stellar game. Redemption for Marcus Williams. And I'm interested in 49ers-Vikings, Jimmy G versus Vikings number 1D. And a little homer for me, the Giants play the Falcons at the Benz this year. I'll be going to that game for sure.
Yeah. You're going to be very disappointed in that game, too. I'm going to tell you that.
More than likely, yes.
The Giants are going to get... And I don't like how they play in domes on the road, and especially when I see them go play the Saints, even their good years, they would get blown out a lot of times. But looking at that schedule and analyzing it, I love the opener. I love the Falcons versus the Eagles. It's going to be the right playing field for the Eagles to send a message that last season wasn't a fluke. Now, I know you think your guy, Carson Wentz, should be the starter, tipping the hand that maybe he will be the starter, unfortunately. So, assuming Nick Foles gets traded,
here we go.
What should happen, Nick Foles gets traded.
He always knows Nick Foles is coming up at least once.
Yeah, Nick Foles got to come up.
Yeah.
Nick Foles getting traded. So, Carson Wentz will have an opportunity to put that pressure, which the pressure is going to be on his back, but to put it out there and then hopefully beat a Falcons team and show us that fancy passing game that he had prior to him getting hurt and show everybody that he could still play. That's going to be a gut check type of game, and to see where the Eagles are at and to see, again, where the Falcons are at. If the Falcons are Super Bowl contenders, I think that game is going to tell a lot. Now, what I did notice is how weak the schedule was for the Saints. The Saints have, on paper, the easiest schedule. And I do have the Saints in the Super Bowl, so this is going to help the Saints, especially in a stacked NFC. Their schedule's pretty favorable.
Yeah, the Saints are a solid team. They do have a pretty favorable schedule. I like the Saints. They definitely will make a deep playoff run for sure this season.
Looking at the Saints' schedule, I was thinking 12-4. 12-4.
Well, I've looked at their schedule briefly. What do you have it in front of them real quick? What's some of the games they have?
I don't have it in front of me
Let me see if I can Google this real quick.
Okay. Fans out there, we are Googling right now. We're on air live. Googling their schedule.
Google. All right, let's pull this up. Here, let's see what we got. Let's run by these games. So you say 12-4, right?
I say 12-4. Let's go ahead and run through it. I would run through it, but my laptop died.
I got you. So we
How
got
bad? My laptop dies.
Week 1, we got the Bucks. Okay, all right, that's a cakewalk. We've got the Cleveland Clowns.
Cha-ching.
We have the Falcons in Week 3 in Atlanta. Get out of here. That's always a hard game. They got the New York Giants in Week 4.
That's 2 checks next to that one.
Come on. You get lost. You got the Redskins in Week 5.
Cha-ching.
That should be good.
That's 5-0-4-1 right there, realistically.
Ravens in Week 7. And then you have Vikings in Week 8. That's a hard game. So you want to run through the Steelers schedule?
Go ahead, but the Ravens aren't that good, and the Bengals aren't that good.
Okay.
But go ahead and run through that
let's
schedule.
All right, so you got Cleveland Browns in Week 1.
That's a great way to start off the season.
At Cleveland.
That's a 5th preseason game right there.
Then you have the Chiefs. I think that'll be...
That's a win, too.
I think that's... I don't know. I think the Chiefs, they did lose.
Was it Patrick Mahomes in the quarterback now?
I like Patrick Mahomes, but they lost some players.
I haven't seen him play.
Then they have the Buccaneers. They should beat them.
3-0.
Baltimore.
4-0.
Baltimore's trash. They have the Atlanta Falcons in Pittsburgh. That'll be a hard game.
You know what? What's that? Is that first 5 games right there?
That's 5 games.
I have the Steelers at 5-0 so far.
5-0?
5-0.
You don't think the Falcons will beat them?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. Then you have the Bengals.
6-0.
Browns.
Oh, 7. Man, I feel like I'm a Steelers fan right now.
I'm glad.
Look at that schedule.
I'm glad we're recording this because
Please record this. We're gonna bring this up. That's 7-0 right now. Who got week 8?
And then they week 9 they got the Ravens.
This schedule is a cakewalk. Cakewalk. They are walking through the league.
It's division games though. Division games are hard. Then you have the Panthers. That's a hard game.
Where's that at?
It's away. No, it's a home game.
Another home game. They got a favorable schedule.
But Panthers are a good team.
Let's say 8-1.
And then you have a Jacksonville Jaguars who beat them twice last year.
I give the Jags that win too.
That's away.
I'm gonna give the Jaguars 2.
You have Denver Broncos, which
Denver's pretty good actually. I
don't know. They haven't done anything.
But
they haven't done it. They haven't done anything.
Case Keenum is gonna be their missing piece.
So you got Vikings twice. They play the 49ers. That'll be a tough game. Jimmy G versus Aaron Rodgers. You got the Rams away, New England away, Seahawks away, and the Falcons away. So
that's a tough schedule.
They have actually a pretty. It's the middle part of the season that's hard for them. The beginning of the season is pretty easy for me. They could realistically go
10-6.
No, and for the first 6 games, I think they could go 5-1.
5-1?
Yeah, because they have Bears, Vikings, Redskins, Bills, and Lions, and then the 49ers. So if I was going to pick a game to lose, I would say maybe the 49ers or the Vikings. They would lose that game.
49ers or the Vikings? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
And then the middle part is starting with the 49ers, they got 49ers, Rams, Patriots. Rams is away. That's hard. And then they go to the Dolphins and then to the Seahawks. That's a lot of traveling right there. So they can drop some games in this middle part of the season, but then the end is looking pretty nice.
So
Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, Jets, Lions. I mean that's a pretty.
Where's the Jets game at?
Jets is week 16. That's a layup, bro.
Oh, that's a low? Okay.
Yeah.
You're that confident. So what's going to be their record? Before we end the broadcast, what's going to be their record?
Packers, I'll say 10-6.
10-6?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing. 10-6. I don't see anything special. Vikings will finish ahead of them.